game right now, it's like you're trying to have two really heavy cores, like really stable cores. You drop them right away, like whatever it is, like a Timber or Brute, you sit on the side lanes, you're going to be occupying the side lanes all the time. And it's going to be up to the supports to tip the balance. That's why you've been seeing, like, especially on the first pick phase, that teams, they pick their cores right away, and they look at the draft, and they decide the supports after what's good with our supports and what's good against their
10 seconds remaining.
And to add to all this, I think it's easy to watch a bunch of games of Dota, see these teams win, but you often don't know why they're winning, which pick they're winning on which side. So I have some interesting stats about both these teams. On Radiant, this is for Gaming Gladiators, they have a 63% win rate on Radiant.
Okay.
They have a 69% win rate on Dire, so they're winning more on Dire.
Nice.
And on top of that, their first pick ratio is 29%, so they're preferring second pick overall.
5
And then
seconds
Liquid as well,
remaining.
theirs is a little more interesting. On Radiant, their win rate is 85%. And on Dire, it's 53%.
Whoa.
And their first pick rate is 55%, so they prefer first pick. So both these teams have different preferences, so it does look like both teams will probably get the side and pick that they want.
So for this game specifically, Liquid did win the toss and they chose first pick.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
Gaimin went for Dire, although
They would have chosen Radiant.
Yeah.
5
Radiant.
seconds
Yeah, I mean,
remaining.
I'm curious if Liquid knows their own stats then.
Yeah.
I feel like if they knew their own
Diamond
stats as 85% Radiant, they would have chosen that.
Sometimes it's just a coincidence, but that's just the numbers right now as far as drafting goes for them. They seem to be doing really well on first pick and Radiant, whereas Gaimin a little bit better on that second pick and Dire.
I mean, is it because of the farming as a carry you found faster on Radiant? Because
Telling you, it's the
10
1.5
seconds
mana
remaining.
regen in those camps down there.
the Mighty Mines.
Liquid's
No, the
turn
Well.
to
That's the
pick.
well.
The well.
Mighty Mines are the Dire.
yeah, and probably also the Roshan. Like, it's easier for you to get the 15 to 20 minute Roshan.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, gentlemen, it's game number 1. Phase 1's already filtering in. Liquid take out the Leshrac and the Enchantress. Gaimin banned out the Morphling and the Medusa.
10
And with that
seconds
first
remaining.
pick, coin flip 1, Liquid take the Broodmother right off the bat. The
5
Timbersaw is left
seconds
through.
remaining.
Gaimin picked that up along with the Techies.
It's definitely really fascinating that Liquid chose to let Timbersaw through here. Has been pretty much universally like the first pick hero if it's left in the pool. It's either like first picked or completely ignored. Maybe they think like if they were able to deal with it last series that maybe Gaimin would have had something to deal with it as well. And also people you mentioned earlier, Winter, that they're picking 2 cores in the first phase of the draft usually on first pick. Like there's just certain cores that are absolutely broken right now, like the Timber and the Brutes, so you see them overall first, Morphling, and then the second pick right here is the most protected pick because you can ban 3 heroes right away. So that's likely a support bat, but it could be theoretically a mid bat against Timber.
I mean, I think it's also good that, from my understanding right now, seeing what's happening, like Liquid probably prioritizes the side lane core a lot more, and maybe they feel like the Timber
10
trade
seconds remaining.
has given them more information, because you know probably it's gonna be like a mid
5
Timber, then you can
seconds
counter it better, and you've already secured a Brute, so you have a very stable side lane. And you can let the draft play out and decide what you need on the mid lane to help your side lanes. And they've gotten like a Bat Rider as well, which is pretty decent against the Timbersaw. You're going to need like a hero that deals a massive amount of magic to be able to deal with this early Timbersaw pressure that Queen always does.
Yeah.
10
The Bat Rider
seconds
can do that for
remaining.
sure. Sorry, and then on top of that, I always like to see when they pick
5
these heroes that are
seconds
super
remaining.
popular, like the Timbersaw, and what
Team
Quinn thinks are
Liquid's
the best
turn
3
to
heroes
ban.
to play against it, and he'll probably just ban them out immediately. But they can flex it as well, another strength of the Timbersaw.
How likely do you think Shadow Fiend has risen up the ranks for Quinn to have to worry about banning it?
For Nisha,
Yeah.
he can play it. It's definitely down his alley. It really just comes
10
down to,
seconds remaining.
is that the style Liquid want to play? Because most of the time, the
5
mid laners
seconds
playing
remaining.
this like greedy farming style hasn't been working out for most of the teams. Normally your mid
Diamond
laner wants to play through
Gladiators
supports, and
turn
both
to
your
ban.
side laners are taking most of the net worth on the map. So the dynamic of how you play the map is going to change entirely if you do that. So you really have to crush your lane and maybe play to win 3 lanes that way, which is always an okay option to go for.
Yeah, I think that's particularly one of the things that change in the game so much right now, where the supports just tend to
10
want to move with the
seconds
mid
remaining.
laner the most, because the mid laner is the one that gets the most amount of XP
5
and the
seconds
importance of
remaining.
securing the runes, because right now the runes always alternate. So it's very easy for you to plan, okay, this rune is already out. The
Team
next
Liquid's
probable rune is going to be
turn
like a
to
haste or
ban.
DD. We're going to have to play around it. We're going to want our Ember or our Primal Beast to get that rune, and we're going to go to the side lane. So everything is much more smoother if your mid laner is just a natural rotating hero.
That's true. I never thought about how deterministic runes might influence, like, oh, 8 minutes, there's a good probability we're going to
10
get
seconds
one of the
remaining.
power runes that we want.
I'd say around 10 or 12 minutes is I've actually heard players in pubs start
5
talking about it. They'll
seconds
actually have like,
remaining.
you know, they have the roast tide written down. They'll start to know what runes have been picked up.
I see.
Usually the main ones you think of are the haste and the DD, like Winter mentioned, because those will often set up kills that weren't previously possible. We have to remember that this can also be a carry brood for Liquid. What brood is like gone up in value even more than she already was because she was a high win percentage throughout the whole course of the tournament is the flex value. There's a lot of times people will choose to counter with like a Naga Siren that's banned out, something like a Terrorblade PL, like illusion carries, and then the brood just gets put safe
10
lane and
seconds
they
remaining.
counterpick you with the offlaner suddenly. So that's why it's such a powerful pick, more so
5
than already
seconds
what makes it
remaining.
broken, which is just universal right clicker, 70% damage on her first spell, and since she's universal, her base damage is like 200. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, whenever Liquid flexed it, which was actually the first time they flexed it was against Quest, it was a first phase Broodmother, and then later on in phase 2 they ended up picking Xayah Beastmaster.
Yeah, they will double down, sometimes triple down on summons. Like they had a Visage Beast, or is DK Beastmaster Brood. So it's just push, push, push. We've seen them with like a Lycan, Visage. So it wouldn't be too surprised if we see 2 of those, even though there's a Timbersaw on the other side, because you kind of just run around him, you know, kite him on the map, run past him in team fights.
Yeah. I think having this Timbersaw as well is going to be very interesting as well, because so far every hero Nisha has picked this tournament, like the only ones that he's played that are actually good versus Timber mid has just been the Leshrac. The rest don't seem like good matchups against this Timbersaw, and the Leshrac's banned. So Team Liquid does have the widest hero pool of any team at this tournament, and also have the most games, so that skews it a little bit. However, he's going to have to either play a new hero here, or Gaiman's going to have to put it on the side lane, but I think forcing Nisha into a new hero is going to be something new for Liquid here.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty important thing, you know, since Nisha is the one that's being a little bit more unstable compared to the rest of his teammates. Like if you put him in a situation where he's might be forced to play something that he's not really comfortable with. Maybe he's already played the hero, but he's just not really that comfortable. Could be like a decisive factor, you know. You win the lane, and then he's losing the lane hard, and he doesn't know what to do. Or he just like feeds a lot, or he makes a couple of mistakes, and the game could just be easily over by then.
Liquid's turn to pick.
Juggernaut.
They're holding off, and they kind of take away the flex of the Broodmother, as now Juggernaut has been selected.
I don't mind the pick. It's going along the theme of hard to gank side laners. Right now you see both supports, likely the mid or potentially off laner. These are usually the 3 heroes responsible for the kills on the map in the first like 10 to 25 minute window where people are trying to farm. And Jug absolutely survivable with the spin against all these heroes. And what I like about the Disruptor is you already have a lot of free pathing abuse between the Broodmother and the Batrider, and he's one of the few supports that can catch you once you've gotten over the cliff, which would usually mean you're home free.
Yeah, during Tour 1, I believe, or just the Lima Major times, Broodmother was in every game, right? First pick, or full circle, I guess. It's still first pick nowadays, but Disruptor was one of the better supports for that, because if you're going to just allow that spider to just run around in the trees and never catch them, it can be very difficult to play the game here. And the Juggernaut pick, I agree with you, it fits their lineup pretty well, but then you're picking like this Lich Jug strategy, which is very strong in the laning stage. However, Timber is one of the better heroes that's just getting away from that combo in the laning stage if they do want to make a pivot here.
I mean, do you feel like the reason them picking the Lich Jug is because they see this Techies and Disruptor, and they feel like those 2 supports can't really threaten the Jug? So in a way where I mentioned earlier, where the game feels like right now you pick 2 cores, really strong cores that sit in their lane, and whenever you see an opportunity that the opponent shows the 2 supports, and you know that 2 supports can't gank that particular hero, and then you feel like you can just farm on the lane forever.
Yeah, and I think to add on top of that, the Lich is one of those heroes that we've seen a lot against the Techies. You can use the Sinister Gaze during the blast off there, and just it won't do anything, right? So you can stay on top of the Techies and harass them there. That could help, but Gaiman have a decision to make now. Do they just want to pick their carry here and continue to flex this Timbersaw, or are they going to reveal where this Timber is going to go?
I'd rather see the carry right now because you're almost certainly the Brood off lane. You don't even know if the Batrider's core yet. It theoretically could be core, and I think they highly prioritize like the lane cheese on top of everything else. So yeah, they go for the Terrorblade. It's pretty standard against the Brood, even though you generally lose the lane. Like it's like a 60-40 lane for Brood. You can occupy that area of the map. The one thing you don't want from the Timbersaw, since he is like your one easy way of clearing spiders right now, is to feel like he has to sit bottom defensively And instead, like Quinn, if he is playing the Timbersaw, or if it's Ace playing the Timbersaw, they want to be shoving your towers. They want to be running into your jungle, making you have to react, maybe even not necessarily killing the Jug, but forcing him further and further back into his Mighty Mines area in the top jungle. So I like the Terrorblade. It's like usually what Dyrachyo does. He kind of just takes the crappy farm. That's what he does. Even if he's a hard farming hero, you just say, here, buddy, you can have the bottom half of the map. Nobody else wants it against Brood.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really important point in how Dota is being played right now. Whenever you're in a situation where if only one of your cores can only go to that specific lane, then you're going to have a lot of problems when the supports can only play with that particular core. So having Terrorblade there, you have high armor, you have illusions, you can push out the lane, so you don't really drag your supports down to that lane, and they get to play with the Timber, because that's ultimately their plan. The supports are most likely going to be moving with Timber. Timber's the biggest source of damage. Disruptor's going to set the kill, and Timber's going to be there.
And that is a Huskar ban.
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't think this Batrider's most likely going mid, right?
That's an Ember, right?
Yeah, they want something in mind for this. I don't think Gaming Gladiators draft really wants a Huskar very much right now. But it feels like whatever they want to pick from Liquid, this Huskar can exploit it, which makes me further believe here that for Gaming Gladiators, potentially with their bans, they're just going to keep this Timber open. And now Quinn is going to get the counter pick, because I can't think of too many better heroes to put in the offlane versus Jug and the Lich there, because that is an incredibly strong lane.
Yeah, Liquid's going to need like probably like an initiating hero, like some Puck, some short cooldown. And a hero that can play against a blind matchup, maybe a Snapfire kind of hero. The supports need somebody that can play around, that can deal damage when you get the last off, when the Lich is here to start the gank.
I think they're kind of telegraphing Ember right here. I think they just clearly want that. It's kind of like Nisha's hero this tournament, even though he had that one game where he went Battle Fury double dataless and kind of...
Yeah, we're probably not gonna see that anymore.
Yeah, I think they had to start talking with him. But, you know, as Blitz said, you gotta let him cook sometimes, you know? Just gotta let him do his thing. Maybe it doesn't work one time, but the way Nisha plays, you mentioned your kind of polarizing performances. Like, sometimes he's 10-0, sometimes he's 1-5. You don't really feel his presence in the game. And I think that has to do a lot with, like, how much his side lanes feel fine. Like, if he's allowed to just be up in your face in the mid lane with the two supports sitting around him, he's kind of like Quinn in that way. He feels a lot more comfortable with that extra momentum being given to him.
But I do feel like sometimes he tends to hit creeps a little too much, whereas I feel Quinn has the right balance about when he should be hitting creeps and when he's going to be running around and pressuring the opponent. But in general, maybe Quinn is more aggressive as a nature and as a player, but I do feel that Nisha has a problem sometimes balancing that out, you know.
Yeah. And it just makes you wonder, do you want to give Quinn a free lane? Because Quinn's the type of player, knowing from experience playing him as a carry player, if he wins his mid lane, you're next. He's going to go to your lane and make sure you don't farm anything. And that'll give Dyrachyo a net worth advantage. And as a Jug, that's not great. You don't want your Ember to be on catch-up duty here. As far as I know, I don't think Ember can stop a Timbersaw on the laning stage. But even if they want to do the Timber off lane, which might be a better lane for the Juggernaut, he can pick anything from his choosing to deal with an Ember. And Ember's generally been a hero that is pretty easy to exploit. So I'm very curious on which direction game is going to go. Is it going to be Ace or is it going to be Quinn on this final pick?
I wouldn't mind something like a Beast if they want to go offlane.
I was thinking about that too. Like Beast can just sit in the lane, and you're pretty good against the Jug. Keep farming. You give the Terrorblade the aura when it comes to the group up.
Also, Darkseer is still in the pool.
First Jug, probably not something you want to do too much because he can deal with that quite easily.
Okay, maybe
but
not.
They're gonna do it anyway. Well, you called it.
You can at least surge out of this devastating combo with the shield, the gaze, and the blade fury.
Darkseer's never really been like a laning hero. Like, yeah, you have your power spikes, level 2 Ion Shell when you both hit level 3, and overall, like, you do set up dives against certain carries, but not really against Jug.
Has the matchup changed because he's universal now and he's more damage?
Yeah, you're allowed to just CS with Darkseer.
Darkseer right clicks now?
I'm saying, like, it's similar to Timbersaw, where both these heroes used to only CS with spells and they had like 50 damage, but now you can go some early stat items and you don't have to keep spamming Ion Shells. They usually like rush the Vanguard, and at that point, you're pretty unkillable, which means that we talked about it. What Gaimin wants to do, they want to rally behind Quinn, Darkseer, and Terrorblade. They just kind of do their own thing once they're level 5 or 6.
They keep the lane shuffled out, creates a lot of pressure so that Quinn can run around and kill people. And on top of that, in the team fights, you have to vacuum into the disruptor ulti.
I think the most important thing is going to be the mid matchup, because if Quinn does win the lane, he's going to go skew that top lane. But I think if you leave the Darkseer alone, it's going to be a little difficult for him to lane there because you start your surge and then you get gaze and there's a spin.
Yep.
It could be an easy death.
And apart from land, mid, sea, there's like 5 universal heroes in the draft, so 5 against 5 balance.
Where land meets sea meets galaxy. All right then. Let's get ready to get this thematic battle underway. Where land meets sea, where gladiators meet liquid. Let's meet OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Tsunami, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals here at the Bali Major. Gaming Gladiators against Team Liquid. Once again, Fogged, we're here, the same 2 teams. Overall, coming into this one, is there a chance we see something different? Or from what we've had so far from these 2 squads, Gaming Gladiators coming in as the favorites?
Yeah. Absolutely coming in as favorites. I mean, they have year records since last TI, not counting TI. Of course, it's 18-9 in game score, and overall, most of those series, of course, have gone in favor of Gaming Gladiators. I do think both teams, they kind of got what they wanted, but I think Gaming, they got more what they want. I think this looks like a very strong group-up draft. But Nisha, he's been, on his Ember Spirit, of course, he's been incredible, and looking forward to see how this one's going to go down, because Brood has also been a pretty annoying hero. It's been just really disrupting. It's been struggling more than they expected. Low. Liquid with Boxy's death is actually going to take away the water rune from Quinn. Quinn is actually going to be put a little bit low on HP here for the next moments. Yeah, definitely seeing. I'm seeing Mickey just he's getting poked. Power of the techies, the poke.
Yeah,
Commencing.
See down bottom again. Zai attempting to get onto Duracho, but Duracho's fine. Very hard for kind of Zai to sort of threaten Duracho on his own. It's going to take a few levels to come out from Boxy before they have like that magical damage that may be able to pressure and threaten the Terror Blade even when he's under his tower.
Boxy's actually just going to start pulling waves. Maybe he blocks this small camp too. I feel like just having the small camp available for Celery to reset lane position never feels good for Zai.
Yeah, it's going to get
He's
blocked.
going to get blocked first.
Mid lane. My goodness, they're lifting the edge. And Nisha underestimated the damage that Quinn would be able to do to him and the amount of damage Quinn would be able to survive through. That is it's an unfortunate death there for Nisha on the mid.
I mean, and Quinn's going to hold the range creep there. Now that's ring of health. And that was actually with the TP coming in, where they stole the water room away from him. That was him without any extra little refill. He just stands toe-to-toe versus Nisha. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean...
That's not a person you want to give the kill to.
No, he pushed for the risk to try and get that kill in the 1v1. But now that he didn't get it, it means that he's never going to have that opportunity again. No. Yeah, Ring of Health out, 2 points in the reactive armor. Quinn, he's never dying in this matchup.
Nope.
Nisha missed the opportunity.
And top is free farming. You know, Ace, he is getting that really, really solid farm with Tofu just harassing behind him. Not able to get any type of slowdown onto this. The Jug is farming nicely. But I've seen what Ace is able to do when he gets off to a good start as his Darkseer. Yeah, he occupies so much. He actually just plays farming. He gets Vanguard. He takes over the top part of the map, not the actual like creeps. He'll pull some creeps into all these neutral camps because there's so much for Darkseer to farm once you get an advantage like that.
Try and make a bit of a go, but every time Surge is there, very hard for Lich and Jug to get away with the successful moves. And now Mickey.
I'm surprised Insania put this point in this rush.
No, he just doesn't do anything in this lane for him.
It's all magic damage. Yeah, you have if you catch them like really off guard and you know there's no surge and stuff, you can get that spin down with the slow. But most of the time that I've seen from these Liches versus like
Radiant structures,
they hold the point or they get the gaze. So see if that pays off for Insania. Right now they're just getting really harassed. Healing Ward is doing wonders, but have to be careful with that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, at the least, you know, Liquid, as long as they're able to hold the wave around their tier 1 tower and stay close to that, they shouldn't die in this top lane.
But that means you're not getting kills on Ace.
Yeah, you're not pressuring this Darkseer.
Darkseer is one of those heroes where it can be a little bit like feast or famine. You could just... Sometimes you just don't get off to a start at all, and you're just dying a bunch of times, and it takes you some time to cover. This doesn't feel like it's going to be that for Ace at all this game. None of those auras really early. Insania making the move.
Let's see if they can get the kill onto Duracho. They can. They get the Flame Break knocked back into the Firefly.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They'll be able to take him down. So put some pressure on.
So that's the benefit, I guess, of the Frost Shield, too. If he does want to make some rotations to the bottom, diving. So, okay. Cool with that if he makes those type of moves on Insania.
Of course, any moment spent away from that top lane does continue to mean that Ace is going to have the freest time ever.
Be ensnared in
It's on Darkseer with the lineup. Oh, Nisha might just be dead.
Level 6 has been hit by Quinn. He's in with the Chakram. Nisha will be able to keep his distance from Quinn. Still going to be a bit careful. I mean, Quinn's still got a bit of mana to play with, so both Insania and Nisha have to be cautious.
Our rune's going to be coming up soon. Nisha's just going to try to run to base. Can the supports deny this rune away from Quinn here?
lane. It's not seeming a lot of fun for Mickey.
When he got the healing ward, immediately.
Able to snipe it, and now he's in with the jump. Mickey gone. Mistakes made on the top lane. Mickey left on his own as Insania sort of just trying to help everywhere else out. Goes down towards the bottom, comes over towards the mid. It's leaving Mickey on an island, and an island of pain as he's dead. He's out of that top lane. As yeah, Ace continues to probably have a huge smile on his face with how well this early game.
He is absolutely free farming, Owen. That is a concern. This Jug. Oh, is he gonna? Oh, I mean, he's gonna blame Fury. Okay.
He's gonna be,
but he's gonna lose his courier immediately, and they can force this and go
he
for him.
needs help.
Someone's got to come up. They're bringing 2 supports.
Yeah, they have to. They've got to bail Mickey out of this situation. He's not been having a fun time at all. They'll turn towards Ace. Ace is never get the 3-man vacuum up, but he will die.
For Mickey.
They get Mickey.
Nice pull.
He's gonna have glimpse in a second. Celery. He's got him with the glimpse. That should do it. So they'll lose lives themselves here. Gaming Gladiators 2 go down.
They get the chains.
They'll lose the third as Nisha swings across, chains to cancel the TP as Celery. They get the 3 of them. So Liquid as a whole will be happy. Mickey, maybe not so much, as he's dead yet again.
Oh man, don't want this Jug to get slowed down. This is a hero that you want to be able to have that good pace versus the Terrorblade. Sure. TB, I mean, Dyrachyo, yeah, he dies the once, but this hero, it farms much more naturally than a Jug who's struggling in laning phase.
I mean, to the point where overall you feel for Gaming Gladiators losing the 3 heroes there to kill the Jug as soon as the Jug returns isn't actually that.
It doesn't feel that bad.
They're like, whatever, we just killed your Jug twice in a row.
No, I mean,
it's recovering Mickey.
At least they got kills, but I mean, Mickey now it's like, he's gonna have to just jungle a bit here. And Dyrachyo, he can actually come top into tower.
They can take this tower, I think, yeah.
And mid, Quinn, he's also gonna start pressuring this tower too. So Liquid getting pulled apart a little bit here. Zai, he is having the best time though, so he's gonna be able to apply some good pressure down bottom. And we'll see which route he does go with his build, because we've seen a lot of different variety.
Yeah, I mean, in a game that's kind of going like this, when you know your carry's sort of struggling, is that more of an incentive to go for sort of the carry right-click brood build and build for yourself, or does it mean that you should go the aura route so you can make sure your actual carry is able to have a presence in the team fights? You know, what's sort of the thought process as the offlane brood in this sort of game, do you think?
That's a good question. I think because he has the Ember Spirit, he might actually just go down the aura route.
Yeah.
So we'll have to say though. I think it's, for me, I'm having difficulty telling just in some of the games, because it's like, oh, he should go, or he might go aura just because like they're struggling or they're playing versus an early game lineup, and then they just go triple core. So I mean, like Amar has been like one of the best examples from that, just going constant scaling on his brood. Sania.
He's going to try and chase down Celery here. So Celery's got Dyrachyo by his side. Zai, he's not going to want to spend any time chasing Celery any further. Dyrachyo turns up. Also Tofu and Quinn. They're looking for the chase onto this. Insania and Zai, they've got to back off.
They've got the glimpse if they need it.
I think Insania doesn't really stand much options of getting away from this one. He's going to try and spend as much time as he can, making the 4 of them chase him, but he will indeed be going down. Kill for Gaming Gladiators.
I mean, that's quite a bit of space chasing the lids. That's space.
And Mickey's definitely going to appreciate that space.
Oh, yeah.
He's been able to push out the top wave, catch up a little bit on farm. You know, he's more than happy with Insania dying as deep as he did just then.
I love how much attention that Boxy's actually been putting on this top area versus the Darkseer. He's, in the beginning of the game when they smoked, they blocked this camp with a sentry right at the start, and now he's just been constantly walking over, keeping tabs of the Darkseer stacks and everything like that too. So definitely potential that Liquid wants to fight around that area if they do set up for it on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Could see some early movements coming in there. 5-4. Pretty even start here between both. Jug getting slowed down definitely hurts a little, but that space that they just got for Mickey was pretty crucial for him to catch right back up.
He's getting to play this whole top half of the map without any interruption.
Waiting to see what Zai wants to keep it up. Treads is usually kind of indicative of Echo Saber.
Yeah. More like the one in the mid, Nisha. It's cool. He's still got his remnant ready.
Chopping super low.
He was living on the edge there. I mean, Quinn, of course, will be able to easily hold this mid, hold this tier 1 tower. So super hard for Liquid to get away with any early push. You know, any time that Quinn turns up on his timber.
I mean, mostly it's just Zai going to be doing almost all that push. And yeah, Zai, he's committed the Ogre Clubs, so it's going to be scaling. So they're going for triple scaling items on the 3 cores at the least here. I mean, if there's auras that come out very early for Ace, that could pose to be some scare around the early team fights around these towers. Because if Ace just has some like Vanguard mech, and they're fighting with these triple scaling cores, they're going to need more time to build perhaps those towers if gaming does set up for them.
Yeah, and I feel it could be difficult as well for Zai to have impact rate even with this sort of Echo Saber build, because unless he's able to sort of find the supports in the back lines, the cores, they're not really going to care too much about getting clicked by a spider early on, right? TB, high armor, and this Timber Saw, Quinn's not going to care at all.
Yeah, Celery's the one who has to really worry about it the most. Disruptor is the squishy one. But Techie's, he actually does, once he's got Taser, he's pretty good.
That's true as well.
Broodmother in a way, so it does have a way around it. A lot of stacks being formed. Tofu, I think he has like a quad stack around his hard camp right now down bottom, but also we see Liquid getting crazy stacks. I mean, all about getting that efficiency going now that the lanes have been broken and they're fairly even. Quinn.
Celery. It's the 6 now.
Quinn is tough for them to deal with at this point. Occult Bracelet, 1770 HP. Very tanky.
They can't kill this
They'll
team.
have to commit literally everything onto him, and they might not even get him.
They're going to go for the last one on the Tofu, but Static Storm's already will stop them from being able to push in for this. Nisha turns, gets the Remnant out. They're on full retreat now.
I believe he dodged the glimpse there, I think, with a slight.
They're going to go for Boxy. Ace even dropping the ball to try and catch him with the slowdown. Quinn's going to be able to head forward with the Timber Chain. Firefly's gone. Boxy will try and deny to the Ancients. Not going to do so. As Quinn will get the kill, and Liquid, they'll get pushed back.
Surprised they are actually planning to try to hit the mid tower. Their lineup without the Brutes is not in this building, so.
Searing heat.
Nisha will at least get away because he dodged the glimpse there, but careful with him. Glimpse on Insania. Quinn.
Lift them up with the Chakram, but the blast off also going to fall short. Nisha going to attempt to jump back in and take down Tofu. He'll get him with the second Remnant.
No, nothing.
Back-to-back spell misses there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They'll retreat out of that after losing Tofu.
I mean, Mickey's probably like, great job, guys.
Keep
this up. I love it.
He is. Mickey's going to be back on track for a solid Battle Fury timing.
He's pretty close. He's keeping neck and neck with that TB right now. Duracho. I mean, we have the Clash of Titans. This is building up to be a nice little mid game here of these fights.
Yeah, both carries are going to hit their timings.
Yeah,
for sure.
And let's see if the auras thrive over the scaling. Zai's actually going to go, okay, this is the other MR build that we saw. Maybe it's just BKB Hex, because I think that's what we saw the other day, which that is a little bit of, it's not like Echo Saber. Yeah, I like this.
I think that's better. I think, as I said, with the Echo build, you're going to have this problem of not being able to threaten the cores. Get BKB and Hex, then if you can get the Hex on a good timing, absolutely it's going to trip up heroes like Duracho. He's going to be relying on waiting till he's low to go for a Sunder. You come in hot with a Hex on the Broodmother.
Formed. Tofu, I think he has like a quad stack around his hard camp right now down bottom, but also we see Liquid getting crazy stacks. I mean, all about getting that efficiency going now that the lanes have been broken and they're fairly even. Quinn.
Celery. It's the 6 now.
Quinn is tough for them to deal with at this point. Occult Bracelet, 1770 HP. Very tanky.
They can't kill this team.
They'll have to commit literally everything onto him, and they might not even get him.
They're going to go for the last one on the Tofu, but Static Storm's already will stop them from being able to push in for this. Nisha turns, gets the Remnant out. They're on full retreat now.
I believe he dodged the glimpse there, I think, with a slight.
They're going to go for Boxy. Ace even dropping the ball to try and catch him with the slowdown. Quinn's going to be able to head forward with the Timber Chain. Firefly's gone. Boxy will try and deny to the Ancients. Not going to do so. As Quinn will get the kill, and Liquid, they'll get pushed back.
Surprised they are actually planning to try to hit the mid tower. Their lineup without the Brutes is not in this building, so.
Searing heat.
Nisha will at least get away because he dodged the glimpse there, but. Glimpse on Insania. Quinn.
Lift them up with the Chakram, but the blast off also going to fall short. Nisha going to attempt to jump back in and take down Tofu. He'll get him with the second Remnant.
No, nothing.
Back spell misses there.
Ready to I'll retreat out of that after losing Tofu.
I mean, Mickey's probably like, great job, guys. Keep this up. I love it.
He is. Mickey's going to be back on track for a solid Battle Fury timing.
He's pretty close. He's keeping neck and neck with that TB right now. Duracho. I mean, we have the Clash of Titans. This is building up to be a nice little mid game here of these fights.
Yeah, both carries are going to hit their timings.
Yeah,
for sure.
And let's see if the auras thrive over the scaling. Zai's actually going to go, okay, this is the other MR build that we saw. Maybe it's just BKB Hex, because I think that's what we saw the other day, which that is a little bit of, it's not like Echo Saber. Yeah, I like this.
I think that's better. I think, as I said, with the Echo build, you're going to have this problem of not being able to threaten the cores. Get BKB and Hex, then if you can get the Hex on a good timing, absolutely it's going to trip up heroes like Duracho. He's going to be relying on waiting till he's low to go for a Sunder. You come in hot with a Hex on the Broodmother at a solid time in the mid game. Could make life difficult for Terrorblade.
Liquid have Blink. Boxy, Insania. Try to set up for something here. Again, there have to be... I mean, some of these cores are a bit too tanky for them to really deal with. Like Ace and Quinn in particular, they have to commit a lot. Ace doesn't actually have the mech just yet, so maybe they try for him. They'll go for the support first.
Try and get rid of Celery before he can get the Static Storm off. He'll still get it down though. Celery able to
Nice
easily pop the Static Storm. They get the Vacuum as well. They caught the two of them in. And Nisha, he's out. They'll get Insane as well. They try and go on Celery, but they couldn't catch him for long enough. The lasso didn't last and to a point where he was anywhere close to dying. He very easily got the ult off on that one.
That's weird. To be honest with you, that was quite strange.
There's a couple of times now where they've tried to make these moves, going with the lasso last time onto Tofu under the tier 1, this time onto Celery. Neither of them have gone great. This one, it went pretty terrible. They lose Nisha, and they're going to lose the tier 1 tower.
I mean, Boxy even flame break the blast off, so it would have been actually even worse if he actually connects on top of that one there. Over-aggressive move from Liquid. That's a blink reveal from Boxy that just gets Nisha killed, actually.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of unnecessary pressure from Liquid. I feel like Mickey's going to be like, guys,
chill, I'm farming.
I'm having a great time.
I've got stacks, yeah.
Good timing on the Battle Fury off the top lane. Yeah, Liquid, I think, getting a bit too aggressive. But they're going to catch him. He's trapped in the kinetic field. He's going to try and low steal up a little bit, but there's not a chance. Zai.
This Quinn Timber is a problem. He is gigantic already. Oh, and he's level 12. Yeah, is done. Shield Rune. They're just they're rolling. They're looking to just keep making these moves. Ace, he's got mech, so they've got these. They're very tanky versus the limited damage I would say that Liquid has in their draft.
I mean, I can't see Liquid going for that move again around this mid tower.
They have to wait for some more items.
They've tried a couple of times. It's not gone great. Realistically, it feels like they've got to wait for Mickey to get a second item, and then maybe they can go with Mickey joining them with the healing ward, with the level 2 Omni Slash. Maybe they have a chance of pushing for it, but going for that move the same way they had the last few times, it's just a recipe for disaster.
It absolutely is, and they're actually maybe setting up for Nisha here, and he should be careful. Get him. Really dangerous to do this versus a team like Gaming. Mistakes can just really spiral out of control here. Racho just getting absolute freedom when they do these type of plays too. I'm seeing Tofu. Tofu's actually just setting up mines even around the mid area just in case. They're like, if they're gonna dive us like that, I might as well just set up some traps too.
Quinn. Very close to having the Kaya Sanj, yeah.
Shield Rune as well.
Absolutely massive.
It really is a problem. Their damage on the draft of Liquid, it's gonna take, like you said, like 1 or 2 more, and even some of these items are just committing everything to try to bring this man down. And
yeah, they don't kill him.
No, and they're gonna have the auras. Mech is done for Ace. He's gonna go pipe. I'm quite worried. Even though the gold lead is so close, I'm worried when the fights do kick off, are they gonna be able to actually kill and bring down these tanky cores?
Are we gonna see sort of Juggernaut Mickey turn up and be terrifying?
Yeah.
Or indeed, just be tickling?
They might be able to find Doraccio. He's actually lingering in the top side here.
See? They've got eyes on him.
Hello.
CTP's coming in. Trying to burn him low. They've got the lasso. Static Storm's there though. Dragon's able to turn with the Sunder. Another attempt to move around these tier 1s. They're just not going the way of Liquid.
Oh, and every aggressive move is actually hurting them, it feels like.
They gotta stop. You know, he's gonna be screaming at them. He's like, guys, can we calm down, please?
I mean, he is getting free farm, but it feels like he would be getting this free farm anyway. They're trying to go for plays, but I think Gaming's just prepared for it. Nisha. Whittling down this tower. He's actually almost got
the space to get this tier 1 tower very low, I guess.
Yeah, pretty good.
With the way attention was drawn towards the top. So.
Nisha finds Tofu.
Yeah, maybe you can do something about this as well. Celery is here to back up Tofu, but of course no Static Storm.
Could be in trouble. Knight doesn't get the slight dodge.
Ready.
Bomb.
Still though, the wall is down upon him. He is going to have to jump away. Time is being bought for the rest of Liquid to turn up, and they'll find Celery on the retreat. Mickey able to take him down.
Auto attacks. Good kill there for Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey's happy with that. He's like, yeah, there you go, guys. You know, bring the fight to us.
Spiders, look at this.
This is great.
They sneak it. So Zai, sneaky little spiders. He's pushing bottom, and he ends up finishing out that mid tower from the consistent poke that Nisha was actually doing onto it there.
And okay, they're going to go for the BKB Nullifier. That's,
Nullifier?
The lockdown item of choice.
Okay. I mean, versus Taser, it'll be great, and versus like the Surge and everything like that, I think that's the majority of the times that you do see it. But,
yeah. Well, there's reasons why you would have maybe preferred it to have been the Hex that you say was seen from some other brews with this BK build than the Nullify this game? Like arguments for both?
Arguments for both. I think he also recognizes that, you know, Gaming is a team that usually, actually I was clicking around, they don't actually have a Pavis. Usually they have a Pavis on somebody. They usually just build a lot of these like glimmers and auras and stuff like that. So maybe just wants this extra dispel. Insania.
He's just going in looking for Insania. We'll get held back by the chains, but the vision's there for the glimpse back. Insania, they'll throw out the chain frost. They'll go for the lasso onto Ace. Ace is still able to pop the back. He will die.
Good Omni.
Get the two of them. They get Ace and Tofu. They won't get Quinn though. Quinn, perfectly fine. He's got the face rune as well running around.
They should be able to get Celery also. This time it's Gaming.
They do.
They
That's a
get
good
caught off.
strike back from Liquid. Able to take the fight on their own half of the map, with it being Gaming Gladiators at this time to be the ones to go looking for action.
And kill bounty is very important. Jug gets at least one of them there. He gets Tofu, and he gets a little bit of that assist gold as well too.
Yeah, Mikke's keeping it cool. He's got the Sand and Yash done now over the Battle Fury, so feeling pretty strong now. Here, 18 minutes in on the Jug.
I'm always intrigued to see like when they lately when they do go for like SNY and stuff, because he is playing versus Disruptor, so. Some of the times you do see like the mantas just for the plays to push yourself out of these kinetics and stuff like that, because status is just, what do you think versus static? So I guess he just wants the raw stats and everything from it.
Celery's going to try for the setup, and he's going to find it here. Very nicely done. Celery coming out for the trees with the Glimmer Cape. Do they have enough damage to kill Nisha in time before it ends? He dodges. He's out.
The attacks are coming.
Tofu.
He's on him.
He was waiting. He was ready. Tofu cleans up the job.
I think the attack might have been able to, was still following him from Duracho, but either way, Tofu, he's there.
I mean, that definitely extra damage done there when you jump out with the remnants and there's a techies waiting.
He'll take that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the XP, my team. I'm level 11 on techies now, soon 12.
And yeah, very nicely set up there from Celery. I think he might just have got that Glimmer Cape complete and was able to kind of come out from the tree line and open up with a static kinetic.
Yeah,
and really caught him by surprise.
We're seeing the skill build of his really paying off. 0 in Thunderstrike.
And indeed, not surprised. Yeah. That's pretty horrific. Yeah, Nisha will be having nightmares about that one.
Chain Frost. Trying to push Duracio away here. Don't bounce too successfully though. They're boarding in on the spiders.
Nisha can get any sort of killing up kills. The wall's going to be dropped down in the midst of it. They're looking at Duracio. Duracio took the Manta and the Sunder. He puts the play for you. Duracio get a target. He turns towards Nisha. Takes Nisha's health. Zai fighting onwards with the BKB.
Duracio still.
Terrorblade. They're pulling back with the bit. Duracio getting busted.
Alive.
Duracio, he's going to live. The team, they're able to bail him out. Duracio splits out to the side of the fight. They've lost Foxy here on the side of Liquid. They find Duracio again in the tree.
He's still fine.
Maybe with the second round of Blade Fury, they can finish it. They can. They'll finally be able to take Duracio down. Zai lies stealing up on towards Quinn. They get the Static Storm down. It's going to trap, in fact, the three of them.
What a storm.
Quinn, he's able to take down Zai and Nisha there with pull back of that Chakram. As Celery helps to turn the fight in favor of Gaming Gladiators. They get the glimpse back onto Mikke. Blade Fury back up, I think, for the third time. This fight will allow Mikke to escape.
Quinn wants blood.
He's chasing. He's surged up. He's running down the Jug. The healing wall's going to be there from Mikke. He's got to consider how he's going to play his way out of this one. Frost Shield's thrown down onto him. Kinetic Field again. Celery more control as they set up to take out the Lich. Mikke's kind of standing his ground. They still feels pretty beefy, of course, with this Sanjin Yasha on top of the Battle Fury, but he won't be able to get back in on the fight. Gaming Gladiators, they come out on top. So, some excellent stuff there from Celery, I think, sort of between his Glimmer play, keeping Duracio alive for as long as he did. And once again, these sort of catches with the Static Storms, the Kinetic Fields, and that glimpse towards the end as well. You're seeing why they were happy to bring the Disruptor in on this game.
Absolutely. I mean, Celery, I cannot believe how long Duracio survived. They committed onto him so long. Liquid, they're trying to take advantage of the fact that Static Storm was down. The fight lasts so long. It comes back up toward the end of it, and I don't think he could have gotten a better one. All three cores getting caught inside of it. Celery needs to die earlier in these fights.
Yeah, and Quinn is, of course, he is completely popping off the back of how much his team sent up from, such as Celery was in that last fight. You know, still yet to die, 8-0-3. As level 17, and very close to being able to get his own Hex.
And definitely feeling all the power of these auras, right? That's why they wanted this Darkseer. You're seeing this mech, this pipe, this soon Greaves gonna be done. They're Liquid, it's like the damage, it was starting to kind of run out there toward the end of it. Gaming able to sustain with it, with this tanky Timbersaw, with this Terrorblade, who had quite a bit of gold saved up also. Duracio, he has 4,200 gold. So for the next fight, he could just have that Butterfly finished up.
It's true, he's gonna have quite the power spike.
If he commits for the butter, if he goes for a more tanky route. He's gonna commit to the butter.
So yeah, feels they're not gonna have any sort of true strike anytime soon.
Liquid, just go around the Roche area here. Potentially get maybe a pick off and then try to go for it.
At the moment, they're not too sure of where Duracio is, so maybe assuming that he's farming this bottom area, but...
Zai is sending his spiders all over the place to try to get some scout information, but...
Try and find some of these cores. Gaming Gladiators on the other side of their half of the map.
Gaming have Greaves now on Ace, plus that pipe. He just finished the Greaves. They have 4 Staff and Glimmers on the double supports. Quinn, soon a Hex. Liquid, they're gonna start it.
Well, it looks like they should get it.
Be able to get it.
I think Gaming Gladiators is going to be heading over soon enough. They'll smoke up now around the mid. Yeah, this Roche is going down far too quickly. So Liquid finding a nice little opening.
Yeah, very nice call.
question is if Game Gladiators want to still take the fight despite Liquid having the Aegis, which they may do so.
If they see people split up, Nisha shows top, but he has a Remnant bottom.
To start things with Duracho. He's looking to be the one to lead in first.
He's under vision. They did see him there for a second.
To spot Mickey out to the side.
Butterfly just being delivered.
Nisha's rejoined the team. Hex is done on Quinn.
This Hex might catch them off guard. Good has to be careful how they position themselves here. Okay, HP.
He's got his Nullifier complete, Mickey.
They've got both, right?
Yes. Double Nullifier ready for the next fight on Liquid.
Right. It's gonna be nice versus the Glimmers and stuff. Like if in that situation, right, in that last fight, if they get these Nullifiers, if they had them versus the Glimmers, Duracho might die way sooner.
Yeah, Tofu and Celery have been doing a lot to get their cores out.
Two supports, yeah, they're pretty farmed. They're more, it's always the same thing for gaming, is they're more about the true support kind of itemization. It's a Bat Rider on Liquid, so you kind of have to itemize for yourself when you're playing this hero. I'm gonna catch somebody here with Quinn attacks.
Being able to back right off after successfully getting the Roche. Don't end up being in a fight that they don't want to.
He's keeping himself neck and neck with this Terrorblade.
That's good farm. A fantastic time of the space that the team was able to create him after not having the easiest of times in that lane matchup.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's getting some good pressure here onto the tier 2 bottom.
I mean, Liquid,
they gotta react to. I mean, he's gonna die quick. They're gonna pop cliff.
Yeah, Nisha's gonna start heading back now.
Oxy's cutting the wave. I was like, what are they gonna? They can't just let him do this. Cut the wave, then they start pressuring top as well with Mickey.
He's gonna put the meta to continue to try and take this down before the backdoor protection kicks back in, and he'll get it in time.
Yep.
Despite the creeps being cut, the objective's
Nisha
is taken. They get the Hex.
He's safe.
Yeah, they're not gonna try for any further follow-up. Nisha up on the high ground.
Perhaps if he didn't have the shield rune, they could attempt for it there, but either way, it's a tough one to go for. And Nisha, as we said, no more funny business.
They can take
second item BKB.
Take their Tormentor though. Yeah. There's Celery, Ace, and Tofu. They'll be able to find it.
Who gets it? It's Celery. Not the best one, but by no means. I've actually started to like this one a little bit more when you're playing versus these annoying like broods and stuff like that. You can actually just scout them pretty decently with the Thunder Strike. Long cast range. Around mid here with Ace. Liquid gathering. They'll rallied around this Aegis 2.5 more minutes.
Yeah. Interested to see as well if Mickey commits for his next item pickup. He has got the Axe Q, but wonder if he'll consider the MKB instead. Use this butterfly. At the moment, Zai, he was thinking about it, whether he can continue to go to build for himself as much as he was, as he did have the MKB queued up for himself on the Brood, but he's now changed it to the Lincoln Sphere. Which does mean that this is going to be neither of those cores considering
they're talking. I think they're talking about it right now because Mickey, I think he's shuffled between 4 different items in the last like 2 minutes that I've been checking. BKBs, yeah, he's really considering what's going to be the most opportune thing for them to look for the best next big fight.
Yeah, because if they don't have the True Shot, once Duracho has the Satanic,
it's going to be a problem.
I don't see Liquid having enough magical damage to threaten this terribly. Duracho's going to be able to Sunder, he's going to be able to Satanic and active Lifesteal.
Getting some push going here. They'll try to use this Aegis as long as possible, 90 seconds on it.
They'll TP back. But yeah, very interested to see what Mickey and Zai do settle on as their next items. They're considering a lot of different things. Mickey even queuing up the BKB due to the catch of Celery's Static Storms.
Duracho, a bit deep here. Spot him. Yeah, but they're actually potentially catching him. Look at Boxy and Nisha.
Around from Boxy and Nisha.
This could be a massive kill. They're probably like, is this real? Oh my god, it is.
They were sort of questioning that themselves and maybe questioning a bit too much here. Now they'll start to turn back in on this with Nisha getting the chains off.
He's in trouble.
He's completely on his own.
He's literally fighting everyone.
I mean, he kind of nearly brought down Boxy with him. Chain Frost, he takes, Chain Frost, an Omni Slash, a Lasso. It does the job. They do kill him.
I mean, that's the Duracho death, though. That's the one a game that he gets.
And that's always part of the winning formula.
It's true.
So that's the real concern there for Liquid. They're like, all right, okay, we just killed Duracho in a bit of an awkward spot. What happens next? Well, considering the track record, we probably lose. So we'll see if anything different happens this time. But yeah, I think you were right. You could definitely see at the start the Liquid were like, oh, hang on.
No, wait, what? This is real. Because Boxy hesitated for a second there.
He was sort of walking away. He was like, Nisha, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you got the real dude.
A big kill, though. They're going to get tier 2 bottom. So that's actually really, really nice for Liquid. And Mickey, he has committed for the BKB. So going the safer route rather than going for damage. So
all right, BKB and then queuing back up the Axe.
We definitely saw the, bit of a difficulty to bring down this Terrorblade. There's 4 heroes hitting him. And he almost killed
ultimates.
Almost killed somebody.
He did, yeah. Boxer was looking to stay alive.
Yep.
And that was without him having this next big item finished. He's very, very close to it. Just needs the sword for the Satanic.
Blink Dagger done on Ace. Aegis has timed out. Gaming, see if they look to strike with that timing here. I think it's when Dyrachyo probably has the Satanic that they might look for an engagement. How many Wisdom Runes has actually Dyrachyo gotten? I think he's gotten, I know at least 2, but I feel like he maybe have gotten even a 3rd one. He's been grabbing most of them this game since he's playing on the left Ancients.
I mean, regardless, Mickey, he's the one that's easily 2.5 levels ahead.
Above. He's got the talent.
Super high level Jug.
Yep, he's got the Blade Dance talent now.
This is going to be very important for standing his ground against the Terrorblade in the middle of the fight. If he's able to get those Blade Dance live steal procs.
Even versus the Timber Saw in some situations too, if he's able to just stand there and auto attack, it would make the difference. Quinn is just still super farmed though. Continue to be neck and neck with a Timber and a Jug. Still getting his absurd scaling. He's got the 20 talent too. This talent is crazy. I don't know why this talent's there. 20% magic. Why? Why is this there?
Yeah, very, very close to having the Shiva's God on top of that. Was just at 800 gold away.
And then they're probably, I was checking to see if anyone's going for like any Lotus Orbs or anything like that, because it is a pretty value game versus the Bat, versus the Jug and everything, if they do want to go down that route. But
I mean, Celery's got to build for himself, right? You're going to disrupt, you go the Aghanims.
You have Darkseer on your team. If you have Darkseer, it's like a 5x more than you want to go for it.
Now, how far is he in on those? He's got the goal to be about halfway through his Aghanims right now.
Playing around the power rune here, Dyrachyo camping it. I didn't see which one is the next one that can come up. It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
Never the worst one by any means.
I mean, it's definitely going to make Quinn that little bit harder to catch and kill.
You got the Hex.
They got the opening hand, they got the burst, they get the vacuum back into the wall, but still Mickey's able to put the blade through, step back the right.
Oh my
the
god.
The Terrorblade nearly bring him down, but the healing wall's there as well as the Frost Shield. Mickey will live.
He's kind of lucky to get out. Glimpse.
They want to go back in on this. They smoke up here, Liquid, and maybe see if they can get some sort of way back into the fight. Zai has to put the BKB there rather early to avoid getting caught.
Glimpse caught him. That was a glyph. That's not the tier 2 glyph, just an FYI. That's the tier 3 glyph that they ended up using trying to hold this tier 2 here.
See if Gaming Gladiators can push for more then. Losing that for Nisha. We'll be able to get the Glimpse back into the Hex.
Got the Remnant.
Okay, can do anything here. No, it's having to run. I mean, has got Omni Slash. They're still kind of hovering in a way that they want to get back in because Boxy has the lasso. Here comes the Omni Slash. It's going to do decent bounce. Oh, Dyrachyo! Oh my goodness, is he going to get away with that? He's going down.
What? I mean, he really wanted to save him, I guess.
He really wanted to save Celery. I mean, Celery's been having a great game. I mean, bless him. He just didn't want to see his mate die.
I mean, he wanted to do the Satanic play, but they just got on top of him.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, dead on Gaming Gladiators.
A smart hit from Liquid. Patience, waiting for the meta to kind of just deteriorate down, ults being expended, and then they hit, and it's a hard one. They don't get Quinn, but they get Dyrachyo. Yet again, he's 1-4.
I mean, that was a high-risk, low-reward play there from Dyrachyo, it felt like. Either way, the fight probably not going to go too great, but he's setting himself as low as he did, taking a few bounces from the Chain Frost at the same time, just in an effort to save Celery. And I don't know if you want to save it. He's already used it.
He already used everything.
This Disruptor's useless. Just let him die.
That was a bit of a blunder. And look, I mean, you could watch in the fight too, Quinn is sitting on the sidelines and he's like, what the hell is going on?
This game's getting crazy, and definitely in a way that's favoring Liquid. Then up to a 5k lead. Mickey continues to get bigger than ever. He will have his Ags for the next fight.
Oh, yeah, that's massive.
Off that one.
Absolutely massive. A DD rune now spawning around bottom too for the next team fight. They could have that with this Ags on the Jug. And Brosha, 90 seconds already set up around it. Huge opening here for Liquid. Just going to continue to play around the bottom side. Yeah, 1 minute till that, and they're just going to stick around here in this area. Boxy potentially been looking for an opportunity with the lasso. Omni slashed up in 20, and Ags is coming now for Mickey too. Gaming set up in the area. They might get caught off guard with the vision. They're bringing the squad. They want to fight again. Got their meta available.
Being seen by Gaming Gladiators.
Vacuum.
No, but it's going to be the vacuum onto the 3 in the middle of the wall. BKB is out. They'll try and jump over towards Toga, but Toga's able to get back to safety. Immediate buyback comes in from Boxy. Nisha steps in with the BKB, but has to back away from being close towards Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo with the Metamorphosis, punching hard back at the 2 of them. The Chain Frost gets thrown out, but Quinn Timber chains in, takes down Insania.
Liquid's got to run, and this is going to be around Roche soon. Nisha, who's hard to see him.
But indeed, they found him. He's out of Remnants. He's got nowhere else to jump. He's going to try for the slight TP. It was a good effort, but not enough units for him to continue to be slighting around to buy time for that TP to go off. As Nisha, he'll die. He's out for 70.
And that's the Roche. It's going to be up in 15 seconds. Gaming hit perfectly there.
I mean,
they catch with a 3-man vacuum.
All just under the ward, right?
Yep.
Liquid, they're up on the cliff. They just didn't check for it. It had full vision of them. Gaming Gladiators, they knew exactly what was coming.
I mean, they also just deleted somebody, right? Boxy died. I didn't even see his HP pool drop. He just died instantly. Quinn just got the full burst on him. And that's going to set them up now for this rush.
Yeah, they're going to see it in a second.
Yep.
And,
They can
indeed,
go it fast.
perfect position to go for it. Duracho, he'll head back over to help out.
Back and forth we go. An opening there from Liquid from before, and Gaming saying, no. We got our ults now in this fight to get the big connection. And besides just getting a Roche now, Celery, Aghanim is about to be done. The wombo combo gets scarier and scarier.
Get that Philosopher's Stone back in. Extra little bit of gold.
He wants the right click damage for the Roche.
Yeah, he wants to.
Because Philly removed your damage.
Oh, yeah, because... Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, this is potent. That's not going to do damage.
Liquid, they're looking to strike, I guess, because everything's on cooldown.
I wants to go.
Static Storm's up.
He's going to go straight for Celery. Hey, there's the Overseal Totem for Celery. Jumps off the side into the lasso. They get rid of the Disruptor without Disruptor being able to get his ultimate off. Duracho, he's taking pretty much a full omni-slash between himself and the Illusions. Getting pretty low hit. 3-man vacuum into the wall. Duracho attempting to heal up with the Satanic. Mickey popping the BKB. He's moved in on towards Ace. They're taking out the Darks here. Double buybacks coming out for Gaming Gladiators. 2 support.
They're on Celery again.
He's untouchable. They can't kill Quinn. Celery, this time, able to get the Static Storm off. Nisha with the BKB, another slide of fist. He's cut down Ace, and he's cut down after a second time. The Duracho Quinn still standing strong. In with the slashes. Duracho, he's got the bomb. Second. They still haven't been able to take the Terrorblade down the once. They will.
How is he alive?
He's healing up. He's healing up. Now he's gone. But he's going to be back for a second life, and he does still have Satanic good to pop. Quinn.
It's got 5 heroes.
I think Quinn's going to come back in and help out. He's looking back over towards Duracho. He's caught by the fear. Be able to survive against the 4 of them. Meta, but he's gone. They've got the damage. Quinn, he tries to bail out of here with the TP, and he'll manage to escape. But
what a fight for Liquid.
Liquid, you see how low some of them got. Zai getting as low as ever in that fight, but they will take it.
I mean, playing around cooldowns, right? They're like, they don't have meta, they don't have Static Storm at the start of the fight. Actually, Static was up, but Zai, he got on top of Celery. They're starting to get the attention onto these supports, and they had all the numbers there. They had all 5 heroes for the entire fight.
And this, Gaming. I mean, as you said as well, the end of that fight, Metamorphosis being popped by Duracho. Sure, he'll be back up in 45, but it's nearly 2 minutes he's going to be able to offer to the defense with his Metamorphosis. This is a huge window for Liquid to get massive damage done to the base.
This is likely 1 Rax, 1 set.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Really addressing the supports there this time around. Liquid, great identification of the fights, especially, I mean, Zai, he really just pushed the limits onto getting on top of Celery.
And getting out as low as he was. Able to survive through that.
I mean, they all kind of did, right? Boxy only dropped at the very end of everything there.
He's trying to do what he can to push Mickey back, but Mickey not going to care at all. Able to take the melee racks, TP's out, they'll try and time the glimpse.
Wait a minute. I was wondering, actually, Boxy, it was not actually, I was like, Boxy lived during the fight. He died to mines, actually, going toward the Wisdom Rune, it looks like. Okay. I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute, Boxy was alive. What did I miss?
12k lead now. Melee racks gone. Setting themselves up to be in a great spot here in this game 1.
If they fight around the cooldowns like that, they're definitely in a good positioning here. Just have to watch out when everything is up, when meta is up, when Static Storm. But if they get the jump, if they find these pesky backline supports, we can see how much success they can have. Sania is actually getting quite farmed now too. He's just been kind of chilling. Somehow he hasn't died as much.
What's he going to treat himself to? He's going to go for the Wind Waker.
Ooh, that is cool. That's the way to save versus the Ag Static Storm. He switched it to the Ag, so I was going to say that's one of the few ways that you can actually kind of protect.
I mean, Ags is also pretty cool. We don't really see the Ags list, do we?
No.
I mean, to the point where is he actually going to go for the Ags, or do you think he's going to change it?
It's a black hole. You know?
I mean, it can be pretty awesome.
You usually want some type of cast range with it, so I'm clicking around. I'm like, it's 37 minutes, maybe they can get.
Giving themselves a little bit of team fight of their own if in on this.
Hello, everybody.
Last few fights.
That's what you get for getting focused too much on deciding what I want to buy.
I think you're right. That's just a random time that Celery put right. I think he's messing with them. That was earlier than, I don't know, 34-16. Let's see what it means.
That Celery, Aghanim's coming out. How many ninja gears? Let's take a look. I'm always checking this item because this is the most broken item of the tournament, it feels like, once you get to these later stages for these initiations. Because vision and catch is kind of everything. So Boxy, He's got ninja gear. Got ninja gear on Mickey. I don't believe I saw any. Just Lotus is done pretty much here on
good with his ancients and such, right?
This is a pretty big item, honestly. If you're able to get some like really nice reflections, get some protection even onto something like Dota2 or onto these, these squishy backlines. See what type of fight we get. Will we get the Wombo combo from Gaming Gladiators? Will we get Liquid getting on top of the supports? Let's see. Ace, he takes the Martyr's plate.
Super tanky, super
he is.
Darks.
And he can redirect quite a bit of damage too to protect his teammates. That's actually cool. Very tough to tell when it gets activated. I'll do my best to be looking at it. Up level 25 now on Mickey.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Arms for the dead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We had a small technical issue, but it's all been fixed now, and it shouldn't happen again. And if it does, it's completely sure to
Thank you.
Dota. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're back up with the action. 21-21, 15k lead for Liquid. And just as we get back in, Gaming Gladiators are immediately going to go for a bit of smoke. Smoke actions to see if they can start something off. Just to kind of keep people refreshed. What did we just have Gaming Gladiators recently pick up that's setting them up to try and look for this move?
Oh, they're smoked up because they have the Ags on Celery here. They have no buybacks on the supports. Ace just got Lotus, so they're looking to get a big catch here. Vision is going to be everything.
See if they can get the setup. I mean, Drasho is going to show in the mid, so Liquid, they themselves are going to be aware that this sort of move's going down. Mickey smoked up on the front, and
Arcane Rune top. Nice rune.
Arcanum's done on Nisha.
He commits his gold. They have to. I don't think they've gotten tabs on Celery yet. They should be pretty aware that he's very close to that Aghanims or has it on. So
yeah, they're gonna know.
They're gonna know. I think
the
spiders are gonna scout.
With the fact that Gaming Gladiators has been off the map, or at least they're only showing as they're showing, Liquid's gonna know that Gaming Gladiators are looking for that big kind of jump.
Starting to get the lanes pushed out here. Nisha forcing top. Arcane Rune plus Aghanims. This could be pretty massive for this next team fight, but it's all gonna be up to if they find Celery.
The last few times they've done a
been able
job.
to. I think Zai's doing some master, master micro brood stuff. We're just scouting with spiders, giving all the information in the world.
I think because he was sort of like 2-2-15 or something, and now it's been the 4 deaths the last few fights as Liquid have found it. Gonna go for this push top. Tier 3 starting to take quite a beating here for the 2 siege creeps. To deal with that.
Dota2 getting the lane shoved in with illusions. Bottom and mid also taking a beating. Liquid, they kind of have to react to this. They'll send Nisha.
Dire's middle tower.
He's got boots to travel. I was gonna say he doesn't have Remnant down, but he does want to jump in afterwards.
Another attempt from Gaming Gladiators. Out the base they go.
Scouting.
Who can they catch? Who can they jump?
Our buyback's looking. Quinn is 50 gold away from it.
I mean, I think the bigger one that's not available is Nisha's, right?
Yes.
Nisha gets jumped and they're able to kill him during some sort of static storm that may catch him with his Zag static storm pre-BKB. Nisha could be in trouble.
Positioning is going to be crucial for Celery. Look where he has to stand, because he doesn't have a blink dagger. He has to be like right behind Quinn for the catch.
Well, Zai, they've been able to put the Lincolns. Quinn, he's in with the Shiva's Guard and the Hex. But Zai out of the side box. He pops the beacon. He's going to try and go over towards Dratcher. Now they look at the back line. Jump for Nisha. He's been able to find Celery. Straight over towards the Disrupt. He's got the chains, but Celery's able to get the Glimmer K-pop. On these dashes there over towards Ace, but Ace is still alive. Celery's able to get the Static Storm down. They managed
Storm's at 2.
Nisha, he's also caught in the edge of it as well. Dratcher still fighting fit. The Hex is down on Nisha. He's dead. 3 gone on Liquid.
It took too long. They took way too long to get Celery.
Nisha sort of went all in on it, but I think sort of around the Glimmer Cape and such, they just didn't have the detection to finish him off in time. He gets the ult out, and that Static Storm, it secures them the 2 big ones in particular. Mickey and Nisha gone. And as I mentioned before that fight, Nisha, he spent
his
does
gold.
not have buyback. Dratcher and the rest of the remaining survivors on Gaming Gladiators, they can go straight for the high ground push.
I mean, they're pushing mid and they're pushing bottom. Liquid has to buy back at least on the Lich. They probably are going to have to buy back even on Mickey unless they just want to sacrifice 2 sets here.
And there's Insania's buyback. Of course, throughout this all, Insania never spent his money.
He didn't.
He was sitting about sort of 3,500, and now he's got back down to 2.7k. Never spent anything. Got him with a hex again. I mean, Insania's trying to force him back to the base, but they catch him. They killed the two of them. Neither of them with buyback available as well. This is going to be a huge opening for Gaming Gladiators to take at least one set of wreck, probably two, maybe even start to threaten the game as well.
What a fight from Gaming. Only one hero was able to get to the backlines to try to go for Celery, and just it wasn't enough. And
No.
look how much they might actually just lose everything here.
They might.
Mick is trying to hold his buyback.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see with the money Zai, he's 170 gold short of his buyback. Insania first brought back. The tier 4's exposed. They've got this little bit of time in the glyph.
Oh, Dota2 wants to end. He buys a full refresher. He wants his meta back up. He wants to get the push.
He wants to at least get the megas.
At least megas.
Because I don't think they'll be able to quite end unless they can kill these heroes off again, because we're going to see both Mickey and Nisha back in action, so they'll be able to fight with the three of them. It's still going to be a 3 versus 5, so it won't be easy, but there's a little chance that Liquid may be able to push back Gaming Gladiators once more.
It's megas though already.
It's a lot.
And he doesn't even have to use his meta 15
They're going to
seconds.
play it
Up.
cool.
He has a
They'll
refresher.
back off Gaming Gladiators.
They got all they needed. Jesus, Quinn.
That was a big push, big play.
He has not died this game. He has been the leader of the charge for his team to protect his buddies. Level 25 was hitting that last fight too, so he is pretty much a carry also on this Timber Saw, as he already has been. And the game is totally broken now for Liquid. They have to just have, they have to get Roche, and they have to have some insane next couple fights. And they have to find Celery, but not only just once now, because the buyback's back for him, so he can just buy back and join the fight too. It's got ever more complicated now for the side of Liquid, just off of one little connection there.
Yeah, and Insania, I believe the Aghanim Cream was dead with this money that he's been losing, so just by the Ether Lens.
Oh, that feels bad, right? He had what, almost
He had about 4k gold.
4k gold, got killed by his team, going for the Tormentor, dies afterwards, has to buy back.
He's lost a lot.
Lose everything, as now it's Roche. This is a full Aghanims too.
And we're actually going to see, I guess, with regards to the fact that Nisha doesn't have buyback, Mickey's like, I'll just go all in as well.
He has to.
So he spends up by the MKB. They're all going his availability to buy back in the next fight. So he's now completely out of money.
I mean, he has to. They've megas coming in. You have to go all in.
Who are we giving the axe to here? On
Just give it to Ratio. Why not?
Yep.
He's got the double Terror Wave, right? He used meta for the fight, so it's a really, really strong one once you do get this timing.
Can Liquid do anything against these megas? Against this Aegis cheese push that Gaming Gladiators, they're going to look to end this game with.
Aegis cheese push, Quinn just showing that he is unkillable this game. And I guess I didn't get to really see if... I mean, it's likely the auras and everything, of course, saving Celery in that last kind of fight. I didn't actually get to see if Ace popped like Martyrdom and absorbed anything there too. But it was the Glimmer Cake in particular. This having... Gotta have that detection somehow to get into the backlines. I didn't see where Boxy was in that bottom fight initially. Levels more difficult here for the side of Team Liquid. Game is just playing the eco game, patiently getting the rest of the farm on the map, waiting for their buybacks. Close for all of them. Dota2's gonna have his 1200 for Quinn. Creeps are coming in. Here come the megas.
Celery can treat itself to a blink as well soon. And you know, one blink, Ag Static Storm, that will be the move to close the game. He can catch one of these big cores of Liquid.
And they have double hex too, so it's like be able to get those front. Actually, triple hex. Apologies, Ace also having ones. So many different forms of catch. Liquid only has the two force steps till he's disengaged in the initial go, but harder versus the blink if Celery does get it.
Trying to leave the base. Boxy maybe find Tofu farming the neutral camps, but
Bombs. They scout him. He's got a shield through. He wants to run in.
He can just go straight in. He wants to. I mean, there's nothing that's going to threaten Quinn right now. Unkillable right until the end, it seems. See what they can make of this. The creeps are building up.
And Mickey knows he can't show. He has to stay under Ninja Gear, because they could just jump him and full kill him. Link now picked up for Celery.
Yep. Him and Ace can end it if they get the correct jump. And Ace Gonna start things. He's able to get in there, get the opening hex on Anisha. Anisha needs help. Have they got any way to bail him out? This they go.
The Terror Wave.
He's gone. Boxy are committed with the BKB lasso on the center. They desperately want to kill this disruptor. They've got the full-up hex this time. But will manage to stop the ecstatic storm, but there's the buyback. Celery's going to look to rejoin the team. Nisha, he'll buy back as well. They're trying to stand their ground against Duracha. Duracha getting pretty low. He's able to sunder Ace. Gets his health back up to pretty much full. Turns to take down Zai. Zai's out without buyback. Remnant 4 for Nisha. He'll attempt to burst in. He's back up to full HP. Nisha cannot kill off the Darks here. Mikkei's got a Blade Fury back to base. Nisha, he'll have to waste as well. Mikkei, he's going to get dragged back underneath Duracho. He's out. No buyback on him. Hex on Tanisha. Gaming Gladiators with the full cleanup of the Ecstatic Storm. Locks down the Ember. GG is called. Gaming Gladiators will take this game 1.
They just keep on doing it, Owen. How do they just keep on doing it? This one, Liquid, what, 12K
It
lead?
seemed like they had a chance.
One fight is